Paddy Power, sponsors of the Road to Cheltenham.
So the Dublin Racing Festival is over for another year, but we have our second Road to Cheltenham wrap, an extra treat for you. We did one last night, we're doing the same again tonight after 8 races, and the person going home, well, the team going home happiest is Willie Mullins' team. 9 wins out of the 15 races and all 8 Grade 1s going home to Cheltenham. That's remarkable.
It is remarkable. It's some feat. But as he said in the paper the other day, he gets all his horses ready for these big meetings. He got them ready, brought them here, and he had strength in depth and safety in numbers for when the first strings didn't perform. And look, they took each other on. There were some great races. If you managed to back the right ones, fair play to you, because I didn't see many of the winners coming. But I just thought it was a great 2 days, and I bet you this wrap won't be as long today, because you're going out tonight and you'll get us off the air quickly.
He was saying that it was to do with the depth as well, not just the depth of the horses, but the depth of jockeys as well, that when the number one, for whatever reason, the horse might not work, you've got jockeys that are able to step up and understand.
Yeah, look, Mark Walsh obviously on fact to file, like he got involved early, he knew that Gaelic Warrior wasn't going to win. That was in a match, a bit hard to say, but like Danny yesterday on Ilete Tom, you know, and even on Dancing City, yeah, look, everyone, Danny rode 3, the Mark rode 1, Paul rode 4, Jody won the bumper, but you wouldn't look back in too many weeks and say, like, what was he doing on that? You know, I think as a team, they're a good bunch of riders and they're doing a good job.
It's really interesting things that Willie Mullins had to say in his final interview, of many over the 2 days on Racing TV, and you can catch that on the website and in replay. Let's go through what happened here today. The Irish champion hurdle won for a second time by State Man, a third win for Paul Townend in the race. He rode the first of 5 of American Fly, didn't he? And State Man, what did you think? Did you think he was better than Christmas, the same as Christmas? What did you think?
Just listen to Willie, he didn't think so. He was more impressed than at Christmas. I thought he did it easier today. I think Paul didn't ask him as many questions. Now, you can argue Imperial Pass making the run and didn't really suit him. He jumped right, he didn't want to go in front. Darrell was always going to have to try something different. He tried that and it didn't work, but sure, you don't try, you never know. And I just thought, I love the authority that State Man did it with. I thought he was never not going to win at any point in the race. I think Bob Bollinger's run really well to be second, but I love, even if you watch Bob Bollinger to Imperial Pass, Bob keeps going all the way.
Yes.
But your statement keeps going faster and going away from him without being overly extended. I thought it was really authoritative.
So did I. I asked Willie Mullins whether he thought that he'd got State Man in a better state now to take on Constitution Hill than 12 months ago. And I think he has. He agreed that he had. I think he's in much better shape.
Yeah, and he's a very straightforward horse. He's an easy horse for Paul to ride. He's relaxed, he jumps, he's ticking all the right boxes, and look, we know he's healthy and well, and he's been running.
No, bring it on. You need a horse like State Man to push Constitution Hill. That's what we want to see. That's what fans want to see.
I know.
Yeah, and State Man at least is doing his job.
And Willie Mullins' horses were here.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob Bollinger heads towards the Aintree hurdle from the sound of things. According to, agreed. Yeah. And Willie was talking about out and trip and also fences essentially on Perry Pass.
Next year,
obviously.
Next year, Novice Chasing, but he's not a champion hurdle horse, is he?
No. Dublin Chase was won by Il Fabiolo, and Willie Mullins said after this that he saw everything he wanted and more from him. He was really pleased with that performance.
Yeah, it was a good performance. I thought State Man was better, to tell you the truth. Fabiolo got the job done. I thought he was scrappy with some of his jumps earlier.
Going out to his right, wasn't he?
They weren't going quick. Danny was trying to control it in front. They weren't going mad. I thought he was a bit sloppy, but when the race started, fourth last, third last, second last, I thought Fabiolo was really good. Diana Blues run a cracker, but she's just not up to his level.
Yeah.
She's run a really good race. I think Gentleman to Be was a bit disappointed, and I thought it was great to see Captain Guinness bounce back.
Yes.
Where he has his day. I'm just not sure that was really his track.
You've argued that before. You think the test of stamina that it is.
Just a bit much for him. Well, he settled better today, but it was great to see him after the problem he had here at Christmas when he's hard, but he bounced back really well.
Yeah, Rachel Blackmore was saying afterwards that she was much more pleased with him. And you're right, Dina Blue, Mark Walsh had no excuses, so definitively she's set on the course towards the Mrs. Paddy Power rather than the champion chase.
She's just that leveled it up. She's super jumper, she's as honest as the day is long, and I think maybe going out the trip might bring her a bit more improvement.
And if there is a flaw in Il Fabiolo, is it the odd chancey jump?
Yeah, it is, but that's always been the odd flaw. You have the fourth last here in the Arca last year with Darrell. He didn't get off the ground the last fence in the Champion Chase last year with Paul. His jumping is always that way with him, but he keeps his head high and he keeps his back end low. So he's unlikely to tip up.
Yeah, fingers crossed that is the case. Now, I think the most informative race of the entire 2 days, and also the performance that has impressed me most, I'm not saying he's achieved the most, was Ballyburn's win today, the defeat of Slade Steel. I thought we learned so much about so many of the horses in that race.
So did I. And the winner, I loved the pace he showed. The first to the second hurdle, he showed loads of pace. He's a really good jumper. I thought Slade Steel wasn't as quick jumping as them early. Now he did get into the race and travel really well then with Rachel. He kept going really well, Slade Steel, to be fair to him. He never shirked the issue, but I just thought the winner was exciting.
You and I had the same reaction afterwards. Was that the Supreme winner beating the Baring Bingham winner?
If you look at it initially, you think yes, but then when I know the way Willie will look at it, he will sit down and think, well, what have we got? And he won't just be thinking about winning the Supreme. He'll be thinking, how do I win the Supreme, the Ballymore, the Alba Bar, and everything else. So where he goes will depend on what else he has and what else he thinks he can win with.
When I said that's a performance that surely screams Supreme to Willie, he said, yeah, but we've got mystical power for the Supreme.
So he will.
But Paul won't be on mystical power, will he?
No, he won't.
So if you were Paul, what would you be pushing for? Come on, you've been in that position before.
Well, I'd be pushing for it. It would depend on whether I thought Il Atlantique could win the Baring Bingham. Or maybe even Tommy Wrong.
Albert Bartlett, surely.
Branson City, high class hero. Yeah, I'd be waiting till giving another 3 weeks to see which one of them is after coming forward again, and then I'd be directing them to where it suited me. But those days are gone, and Paul Townend will be doing the same. So that'll still depend on what horses he has.
I like the way the front two never missed a hurdle. They were,
rock solid,
yeah, they were really good.
Yeah, good to watch too.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Less good to watch was the race, the Ladbrokes Novice Chase, that ended up as a match. We knew we were going to lose Founder 50. He ran yesterday. American Mike was withdrawn because of the ground. Grange West, unfortunately, cast in his box. Couldn't get an update from Willie because he didn't know whether he was.
Yeah, he didn't know, but it's not. He couldn't run today, but I don't think it's
anything
long term.
It's just, I'm just thinking because he's a fragile horse. So just sort of,
no, it's just more. It was a bit stiff this morning.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, fine. So we ended up with Willie Mullins had to win it. It was a match. Factorfile versus Gaelic Warrior. The signs I thought were there beforehand, but everybody else, yeah. But Willie was saying, and Paul as well, that's just Gaelic Warrior. I don't remember him behaving like that in the preliminaries in that same kind of way.
No, he's bouncy and he is enthusiastic, but I just thought today he looked
agitated.
Yes. Angry almost.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and he raced enthusiastically early, but when Mark Walsh joined him heading into the back straight, I kind of thought, because he shouldn't have been able to join him as easy as he did.
Exactly.
And that, to me, the right was on the wall that early. He made a mistake at the fourth last. I think Anya says McNay took it apart in the studio, and just listening to him in my earpiece, like from the fourth last home, it was over.
Yeah.
And the jumping just went from one horse to the other, where they'd matched each other to the fourth last. All of a sudden, Gaelic Warrior made a mistake, and then it was just the race over.
Yeah, empty.
But we can talk and say, well, what about what happened to Gaelic Warrior? What happened to Gaelic Warrior? And all of a sudden, you'll overlook just what Factorfile did.
Well, what did Factorfile do? What did he do?
When they tipped along at just over, in or around the 30 mile an hour mark all the way, and he always looked like he was comfortable. And he pinged the third last, the race was over, winged the second last out of Mark Walsh's hands, and that's all he had to do then to win the race. But I just thought, it just doesn't disappoint. He just seems to be getting better. I think it'd be very easy to overlook what he's done, because you'd be straight away thinking, well, the other horse didn't perform. But I was impressed with him.
Brown Advisory or Turners?
I'd say it'll depend on what else JP has, how Corbish Cross gets on Wednesday, what race they go for with him.
National Hunt Chase was what Emmett was saying yesterday.
If Loco comes back, there's talk maybe. If he got back, there's going to run the Turners, then would Factorfile go Brown Advisory. It'll depend on what other horses they have.
I felt Mark Walsh was leaning towards Brown Advisory in terms of what would suit the horse best.
He'll have say in it, Mark and Frank, and whatever they think is the best race for him,
And we should talk about Paul Townend, because he and was unseated from Gaelic Warrior at the last and got a bit of a kicking. Willie was just talking about him there, and they'd had the conversation about riding for the rest of the day. Paul was pretty sore, but he felt that he was able to deal with Il Fabiolo.
Sore if he hadn't ridden.
Well, exactly. Il Fabiolo, same. I mean, you never, as a jockey as competitive as Paul, you know yourself, there's no way you were going to step away as long as you could walk.
As long as they didn't put you in the ambulance, you were the right horse.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. I mean, you look at it in the grand scheme of the year for Paul Townend, there's a good chunk of his salary coming out of this weekend.
Absolutely. Willie was just saying he wouldn't mind if he took a week off after this at this point. Yeah.
Definitely won't mind. And get himself right again. But hopefully he'll be okay. It's only a bank. The
fifth win of the day for Willie Mullins came in the last Jodie Townend road. That was Fleur Fusil. I couldn't believe that against horses of that quality, I know she did it last time, but against mares of that quality, that she was able to run away with Jodie pretty much in the middle part of the race and still win.
Watch her in the saddle boxes and walking around the ring, and she's getting dragged around, and then as soon as Jodie gets up on her, she's just away with her. She's a mare with a big engine. Love the way she kept going. She grounded out. The stiff finishing episode. Love the way she grounded out.
Yeah. Do you think she's the kind of horse that might go to Cheltenham?
Oh,
definitely. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was surprised that
Paddy Riley's not getting any younger. I'd say definitely.
Well, I was surprised he didn't answer so absolutely definitively in the affirmative when I asked, which just sort of slightly surprised me. But I'd be astonished if she didn't go, wouldn't you? Yeah. But she's going to have to race more efficiently, otherwise she can't do that at Cheltenham.
I would have thought so. Put a stronger bit on her or something.
I was going to say, what do you do?
So she only had a snaffle on it, didn't she? Maybe she had to shoot it. Not much anyway. He doesn't play around too much with bits, but he'll be able to play. She'll learn as she's going.
Okay. Let's talk about the races the other people were able to win, shall we? Brucio won the first in the colours of Simon Munir and Isaac Saway, and obviously they had a great day with Il Fabiolo winning Dublin Chase as well. Stuart Crawford was on board. JJ Slevin rode. What did you make of this?
Did well. JJ gave Brucio a lovely ride too. Race was the Keighley horse with a strong gallop. Danny Mullins took it off on Minx Tiara. Say on reflection, Danny might like another go at that one. Opened up a long way from home, but JJ timed it really well, and Brucio came home strongly to win. It was a race that was blown apart quite early.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
I felt a bit sorry for Minx Tiara because I mean, 9 years of age, she's not quite as consistent as she used to be, and that was one of her much better days.
She jumped brilliantly.
Yeah.
She jumped super.
Yeah.
Brucio's improving.
Very much so. Yeah, and could be heading to Cheltenham as well. Stuart Crawford was pretty upbeat about her and her chances. I loved the fact that Hartwood was able to win for Rachel Blackmore and Henry de Bromhead in the O'Driscoll's Irish Whiskey Leopardstown Handicap Chase. This horse has just finished second against a series of good horses over fences, and here today he was able to get his head in front.
Into a handicap, unexposed. I suppose Percival Legalwa looked like he was coming with a challenge when he fell at the last on the Cornerstone Walsh. Chavez had run well for a long way, but Hartwood flew the last. Wouldn't have won as far had Percival Legalwa.
No, but would have won, surely.
I think so. Gary O'Brien wasn't so sure. I think that Hartwood would have won. It was an impressive performance, depending on what kind of penalty you get. And when you win that kind of money, you get a bigger penalty.
just how much he found without being completely arsed, and Percival Legalwa is much more exposed than him.
It is much more exposed. When you look at it in the context of what Corbett's Cross, Grange Clare West, those kind of horses, it just shows you what the standard is between handicappers and graded horses.
And finally, the heartwarming story over the 2 days came in the Timeless Sash Windows Handicap Hurdle. This was Lord Erskine, an 11-year-old who 7 years ago won the Irish Zarovich, trained by Harry Rogers, who recently lost his wife. Darragh O'Keefe, who's ridden for him for many number of years, on board. Just a lovely story. Yeah.
Story. And I lucky to ride a few winners for Harry when I was riding. I worked with him when I was a kid in Noel Meads. He was a hardy jockey himself, Harry Rogers. And
I've been hearing from Fran.
Yeah. And brilliant. Delighted for him and Lord Erskine, and Darragh O'Keefe gave him a great ride too. That was a race that was run at a really strong gallop. It was a pile up at the second last, which can happen here. 2.5 mile handicap or 2 mile handicap hurdle, big field, competitive race. 4 of them went to the last with a chance, and Lord Erskine just grounded out. Zenta and Magical Zoe both seemed to get a little empty, and Lord Erskine was in front where it counts.
And at a meeting where 9 of the races have gone to Willie Mullins, I think it's really important that a stable of that size manages to win one of the big prizes at the Dublin Racing Festival.
I think it's also that Harry Rogers with a horse around 120 was in. It's a bit like Elixir the Nuts winning the Clarence House last week. If you don't have the ticket, you can't win the race. Like, I mean, 119 would have gotten into that handicap hurdle, and there were 6 empty slots in that race for 150,000.
So you're urging people to have a go.
Like, people say, oh, I can't get in, can't run in that race, we can't get in. There's 6 empty slots in that race.
Yeah, mind you, I don't know whether we could have done with any more in that field. The stuff that was happening left, right and centre.
No, yeah, but 28 is the limit here.
Yeah.
Only 22 of them declared.
Yeah, I just think it's really important, and hopefully a bit like Sophie Leach yesterday, it will encourage more people to put their hat in the ring.
Exactly, yeah. Take a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, people want to be here. If you have one, run it. Be here. All right, if you don't win, you don't win. But if you don't have a ticket, you're definitely not going.
Well, thank you for your thoughts on all of the races over the 2 days. Yeah, thank you very much. We will have our more considered thoughts at the usual time, Thursday at 9 o'clock for Road to Cheltenham. But that is the end of the Dublin Racing Festival wrap.
Paddy Power, sponsors of the Road to Cheltenham.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.